Now time for a boss.
Don't panic. I'm here. There's no need to worry about a thing.
So I presume the angels were here first and Bayonetta. What were the angels doing this entire time? Were they really feeling that hard at cutting down that tree?
If you don't open your eyes, you'll miss everything. Look at these.
Shit!
Now here's the more important question, which pertains to this game. How I feel about a game that's, I wouldn't say emphasis, but has a story, but the locales you go to generally have nothing are generally seemingly at random. Instead, looks like you made a story or the places you go to, rather than make places based on a story.
I don't know how to answer that.
Like, for example, in this game, we've been going to the most random of places on a whim, and the story has to then follow suit where we're at, as opposed to we go where the story will logically go next. Like, we're not following the story's not following, like, we're not following the story's following us, for example. Make up your mind, man.
What the hell is that thing? Cecita, this is way too dangerous.
You know, I just had a question. We've established that when you're in, freaking, I forgot the name. When in the other world, you can't physically touch the people in the other world. That was a clear example of Lucas touching Bayonetta even though you shouldn't be able to, and there have been several examples in this game of being able to do that when you shouldn't be able to. What I'm trying to say is inconsistency.
Well, Kitty, what do you think we should do? He's hurt you, has he? Well, we can't be having that now, can we? Let's rock, baby!
Yeah, just the fact that the plot follows us as opposed to we go to where the plot goes. Like, what logical sense in the plot would being here of all places provide? The answer? It doesn't. It's here for a gameplay reason, and the plot has to be written around that fact.
I mean, if I like the story, I don't care, I guess.
It's like, one of the things that Bayonetta 2 actually does better in the writing department and the locales, the locales you go to, makes sense in the story while still being good for the gameplay. Problem with Bayonetta 2 is the fact that what you do isn't really that interesting. It's a problem. Despite the fact that it's way more polished in the writing department and the locales you go to make sense, the villain is really not memorable, and you only get a villain like more than halfway through the game, where it's like there's no real like it's not real motivation against the people you're fighting. It's a problem. It's like here you have a reason. BO2, you have a reason to get to your destination, but you have a reason to care about everything else going on between. Okay, this is a place land. Okay, let's today's game. Make up your mind. Another question: should the locales be based on what the story is trying to convey, or should it be like nah? It should be based around the game. It should be based around the gameplay, and the story comes second because it's a video game.
I don't know, like I said, if the story's good, I don't care.
Would you call BO1 story good?
I enjoy it.
I call it decent. Now here comes a question was way more, I don't want to say controversial, but way more pivotal, during the release of Metal Gear Rising. So, let's say you got an action game that's very well polished, right? Very well polished, very good, right? Except it has one flaw. That flaw, it's not exactly a long title. The Metal Gear Rising could clock you about 4 to 5 hours. Some people see it as a bad thing because that makes it short. Other people see it as more of a good thing because of the fact that the last thing you'll want an action title to do is feel padded and bloated. How do you feel about that? Like, do you feel different rules matter for a different genre?
I'm kind of drawing a blank here.
Like, a JRPG will normally run you between 20 to 100 hours, right? With the camera. 20 to 100 hours. That's because they want to fill the game with as much story as possible. Well, if an action game, sometimes they don't care about the writing-wise, and just want to fill you with gameplay. And because of that, they want the gameplay to get stale, so they can't have it go on forever, otherwise you will get bored of it. Which is what Revengeance did. Despite the fact that Revengeance has a plot, and it bears the title of Metal Gear, the plot pretty much takes a huge backseat. Like, if you stop to think about anything in Metal Gear Rising's plot, you realize how much it falls apart hardcore. How much stuff is just brought up and never ended. Most people don't care because the pairing-based gameplay is just so good. So you don't care about the short runtime or the emphasis on, or the lack of emphasis on plot.
It depends for me.
Still not enough, you say? You can go another round, can't you?
Lo solo coexistas, non si lonci la iarquila.
The Lumen Sage.
Urso, calasa, ua una para, ulprit arbors, iosan o divil kaba, kada lunch, miern kaosag ka, Bayonetta, jubilees ka, from
Now, where are my new best friends? I suppose one of them is an adult, so they should be okay.
What I'm trying to say is, I'll classify Bayonetta as pretty much the main emphasis is the gameplay. Then second to that are the characters, and then the plot. Because we don't really focus on the actual plot, we focus on the characters reacting to situations. Like, you don't really care about why Bayonetta's whole entire thing of trying to get her whole entire memories back. You care about Bayonetta interacting between the angels, Luca, and Cereza. Would you say that?
But I'm also interested in her getting her memories back.
You were the first I ever heard say that. Why must you be the antithesis to everything I say? Why must you break everything I do?
Cause I don't know. It's like if it's good to me, it's good to me. I don't honestly care if people don't like it or not. If I like it, I like it.
Well, I'm not saying that people don't like the story of Bayonetta. I'm just saying the story of Bayonetta is exactly like the most important thing in the game. Like, it's not really the points. Like Metal Gear Rising. Like, it's not really the point, which is why the story has problems. Hey, ooh. I managed to find Armando and the cure to the common cold. I'm a miracle worker, I swear.
Excuse me, sir. May I have my glasses back?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Here you go. Cereza, how did you get such magical glasses?
The glasses aren't magic, silly. I can see the monsters without them.
Monsters? Not quite. So, has Bayonetta, I mean your mom, been fighting these big bad monsters for a long time?
Mummy is a witch, and witches protect people and are very strong. When I grow up, I'll be strong too, and I'll protect my mummy.
Wait, you think witches do what? Oh, forget it. No point in arguing with a little kid. I'll manage on my own.
I'm sure you will.
Mummy!
Shit.
You never cease to amuse me, Cheshire. I suppose that's your next target? This is yours, little one. You didn't cry while I was gone, did you?
Nope.
Good.
Bayonetta, no matter how I ask, no matter how many times, you always say the same thing.
Come now, Kitty. You know it was
A
all just...
misunderstanding. You're so stubborn, you know that? My father, he was a journalist too. In fact, he was twice the man I could ever hope to be. He was obsessed with one case his entire career. A case so bizarre it took over his life. They could have made a movie of the details. The followers of darkness, the Umbra Witches, and their light world counterparts, the Lumen Sages, controlling everything with a power known as the eyes of the world. Then, the Light and Dark clans suddenly disappeared from their medieval home in Europe. You may be familiar with the town. You're standing in it. Welcome to Vigrid, 500 years later.
500 years.
Each clan, working at the behest of the powers that be, sought to lead their fractured world towards peace. They both possessed an eye said to have the power to create history that they used to oversee the world. However, their spirit of cooperation did not last, for amongst them, a pair of young star-crossed lovers conceived a child that sent the clans on a path to ruin. The woman was thrown in jail, and the man exiled from his clan. However, the child remained with the Umbra, raised as a black sheep even amongst the darkness. Since the balance between light and dark had been lost, both clans spiraled into decay. Legend had it that the two eyes could be united to control reality itself. And this legend fueled ambition and desire, leading to a myriad of battles between the clans. In fact, it led to their mutual destruction. My father was mocked for buying such a fairy tale. However, I believed his story, and I believe it more than ever now that I've found you. The memory of the clan lingers on, despite the passing of 500 years. What on earth was my father searching for? And why did he have to die for it? I have to discover the truth with my own eyes. That's why I haven't given up my chase for it. Or you. The head of the Ithoval Group, the multinational that dominates Vigrid, recently tried to sell an enormous gemstone on the black market. If he isn't selling out in the open, it means we're going to have to acquire it by other means. And that starts by sneaking onto that jet.
Mummy, are you looking for something?
I am.
How did you lose it?
Little one, do you have anything you really like? Something really important to you?
Yes, this. I love it.
Where did you get this?
You gave it to me, Mummy, for my birthday.
When you love something, never lose it. Understand, little one? You must keep it safe, close to your heart.
It had to be one of the longest cutscenes in the game to redo.
Yep.
Being one of the biggest lore dump cutscenes in the entire freaking game. I guess Christian tries to justify you never finding a single Alfheim because they're hard to find. Like I can say is you have at least found one though.
I guess. I don't really remember. It was a while ago. Or maybe I just didn't care. I don't know.
I can't remember. I don't remember. I was gonna say that. I can't remember what it was.
I have the Twitter thing open now that I can actually talk.
Don't worry about it. We technically went over it last time.
Oh, okay.
Well, the important parts really.
All right.
Because I remembered what the important ones were. Everything else there is kind of just fluff.
Any new discussions?
I'm trying to think. All I think is make is a comment about how Uncharted 3 tried to do its Uncharted scenario of falling out of the back of a plane, but wasn't nearly as great as the game tried to make me feel like it was. Mostly because of the fact that if you die, you redo the entire thing, which kind of ruins the magic of it.
Wow.
That's why someone suggested that if you're going to have a scene that's supposed to look cool first, more than anything else, then Uncharted game, you should make it so, not that the enemies don't deal damage, but they deal less damage, so the players have a higher chance of surviving the encounter, so they can see the scene and be awed by it, because if they see it over and over, it's just going to be like, you're going to be more annoyed.
Mm.
What else happened as of recent? Let's see, no. Is that the Gates of Hell? The Kingdom Hearts Civil War continues onward.
Of course.
People can't agree. People just can't agree with each other.
What are you buying? Heard that in a game once.
You already said that before, though. Why'd you go this time?
Because last time I was sick.
Whatever excuse you want to go with. So start towards the enemy twice. Counts basically about to be pressing. Heel stomp. Back forward stomp down. Just try it. I meant to hit try it, I'm hitting by. Oh well. Might as well get more magic, I guess. Because what else am I gonna buy? Yeah, I still haven't bought the Moon Pearls yet.
Mm.
Let's see. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Remember the whole entire thing I mentioned about the whole entire argument about if something's considered the greatest of its genre or medium, whether or not it retains that for all time or
Oh,
until
yeah.
something better beats it?
Your old self, are we?
That's only Jean. So not suddenly, because she's been weeping the entire play this entire time.
Why so glum? Something troubling you? Only your constant fretting over my state of affairs. I've no time to play games with you. No need to take out your stress on me, Bayonetta. It's clear you're worried for the girl.
Wait, we can manipulate bullets with our eyes? So
That's
can we
right.
do that?
She is the chosen one.
Tell me where she is. Now. My, aren't we attached to our precious little one? Do you like it when she calls you Mummy? You're absolutely delusional. If I leave her, he'll never shut up about it. And his whining is twice as irritating as anything the child could muster. You've quite the tongue when it comes to curling round the truth. And what about you? What are you hiding? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think these might mean something to you. I've no need for worthless junk. I am well aware of my task, but you have forgotten that I do not need your help.
How fast was that thing moving? It was able to talk to us perfectly during which time? Or
Uh,
was Bayonetta 9 which time?
Is gone forever.
Both.
Yeah, okay.
It's normal. It's okay.
Fill them. Fill your eyes with hatred. Accept your violent fate. Accept it and earn the left eye. Prove you deserve it.
Oh, just right in front of me, that suddenly came from the sky. But yeah, pretty much better puts it as, when it comes to something big like that, whatever first set the standard or record gets put into the Hall of Fame, while the new thing becomes a new standard.
I don't know. I feel like the original will always hold the special place for me.
Because of the fact that that's the whole point of Hall of Fame is that's where you put the original that made a revolutionary change, while the new standard becomes a new standard. It's like in the case of a remake, where, for example, you would put it as Ocarina of Time. The N64 version is one you would put on a pedestal, but the 3DS version is one you would actually play.
Hmm.
Feel your fear.
And it's like how you wouldn't go out of your way to play the PS1 version of Resident Evil 1, unless you're nuts.
Hmm.
Because it's out because by the fact that it's try to set a standard, it's heavily outdated.
True.
Same thing how movies can get new versions on more up-to-date media, like a Blu-ray release, and that's when you would watch because that would be better quality than watching it on the original medium it was released in.
Yeah.
That's how it ended sooner than I expected. I'm still doing this boss fight. What do you mean only a golden combo?
Not yet. She isn't ready.
Well, everything's going horribly wrong.
Nah, it looks fine.
Testing that out, making sure that works.
Little one, where are you? Little one, can you hear me?
I doubt she can hear you in which time. That's not corrected.
Mommy! Mommy! Mommy!
Teresa!
Mommy! I was so scared.
No crying now.
So is there no one on this plane?
You know the rules. No cockroach.
Nah, it's a self-driving plane.
Time to go, little one. Hold on tight, okay?
Okay.
Just ready for more escort missions. You thought those were over? Nah, you crazy. Ah, so that's why I never use heal stomp. Takes up like 3 points at that magic gauge.
Mm.
What do you mean? Just hit me at the end.
I didn't see anything hit you.
Yeah, but I took damage.
Oh.
What's... Ah, it's the raising water. That's what's going on. The water's raising slightly, so that way you didn't notice.
Wow.
Well, I guess the cat's main character now. So we saw that. That's the cat's right there, so he's a new pro tag. Bayonetta and Cereza are off on vacation, I guess. Now that I discovered the mysteries of the world, what else? What will I go on to do next? Game. Okay.
Wow.
Kind of a late door opening. Come on. Game. 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 There we go. That's spot racing. Another question I got now.
All right.
Should a new game be compared to the, not from the same series, but like the best thing from its medium or genre?
You mean like if a new game were to come out of a specific series, people would compare it to the best game from that series?
No, like from like best, like for example, when Red Dead Redemption, the first one came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Joe reviewed it, he said that because of how high of a bar it's set for open world games, he felt that he would compare every other open world game to the standard set by Red Dead Redemption.
Oh.
Now, is that a fair comparison?
Not really, I would say.
It's like how many people when you say that an action game isn't that satisfying, most people assume that's because you're comparing it to something akin to Bayonetta or Devil May Cry. Because those games hold a standard to an action game.
No, I would only compare it to the in-game series type thing. Like if a game series has open world stuff, I would compare it to that solely, not every other game that has open world. I don't see that as fair.
Well, some people handle it because they feel like you would compare it to the best in its genre.
Mm.
This is an insult. I keep forgetting this exists. Also, one of those weird things, like how most people will compare the Persona 5, the Persona dancing games to something like Project Diva, despite the fact that they're two separate series, and the only comparison they have is the fact that one, they're owned by Sega, and two, they're both rhythm games, despite the fact that they're made by completely separate people.
Mm.
I mean, the first Persona dancing game was supposed to be made by the Project Diva people, but apparently Atlas decided to cancel that deal. Instead, what you got was, well, P4 dancing. Which I know many people are going to hate me just for saying that, but